Hey guys, welcome to Chapter 1, Section 3. This should be the last section before we actually jump in and get our hands dirty and do some development. This is going to be on payment systems. Every shopping cart solution has to have at least one payment system. There's a ton of them out there. I'm going to go over the most popular ones and the ones that I would suggest to look over. And that's PayPal, Authorizenet, PayPal Pro, Google Checkout, and 2Checkout. And some of these are payment gateway only, and some are the payment gateway and the merchant account, such as PayPal or Google Checkout. And what that means is that the user does actually leave your site, pay on PayPal server or Google Checkout, and then they're brought back. So it's seamless. The user doesn't really know that they're being sent to another site. This is the easiest method to implement, which I'll go over in a few minutes. So an e-commerce payment system, by definition, it's a system used to facilitate the acceptance of electronic payment for an online transaction. And I'm sure most of you know that. It's also known as an EDI, or an electronic data interchange. And 90% of business-to-consumer transactions are paid with a credit card. So all these systems that I'll be showing you are ultimately the user's paying with a credit card. There are some systems that have options like bank transfer or wire transfer, but I'm not going to get into that, just because credit card is usually the main method of payment on any e-commerce website. So first up, we have the easiest option, which is PayPal Standard. Now, don't get this confused with PayPal Pro. Standard is the more popular merchant or payment system. There's not too many sites that don't accept PayPal, and it's really recommended for shops that are just starting out. You do not need an SSL certificate, which is very attractive because sometimes it can be a real pain to install a SSL certificate on a server or on a website. The customer pays off-site, so what happens is they'll reach their checkout once they get all their items, and they click checkout, and they'll be sent to PayPal, and they'll have two options. They can log in with their own PayPal account and pay and not fill in any more info, or they can choose to pay with a credit card, and they can pay with the four Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover. So they can pay with that, and not a lot, but some people don't know that the user doesn't have to have a PayPal account. So and that's why they're kind of turned off to PayPal at first. But they don't need an account. They can pay with a credit card just like any other, as if you had it on your own site. It's easily integrated, which is another very attractive feature. I don't think I've ever seen any kind of e-commerce program platform that doesn't allow PayPal. And it's usually as simple as just putting in your PayPal email address and you're all set. Recommended for new sites. There's no monthly fee. There is a 2.9 plus a 30% transaction, so which isn't bad, which is actually really good compared to some systems. But yeah, PayPal is, I would definitely suggest for sites that are just getting up and running. If you don't want a solution where it takes the user off the site to pay, and you want your own site to process everything, Authorize.net is definitely a great choice. This is actually what I use, what I've been using for years, and it works very, very well. It's also very integratable. It can integrate with just about any payment system. Any shopping cart solution. All the ones we talked about in the last section have PayPal and Authorize.net plugins. The user never leaves your site, so you do need an SSL certificate, just so you can have secure transactions. If you've ever ordered anything online, then you've probably noticed when you go to the order page, it has an HTTPS and not just an HTTP. That means that there's an SSL certificate installed and your connection is secure and you can pay with your credit card. Integrates with all the popular shopping carts. One thing that I really want to explain and stress is that Authorize.net itself is a gateway. It's a payment gateway only. It's not a payment processor. If you go to Authorize.net, the website, and you order and you sign up for an Authorize.net account, you will only have the gateway. You then need to look for a payment processor that will integrate with your gateway. So a lot of people think, oh, I signed up on Authorize.net, so I'm ready to go. Well, they're not. They need to find a payment processor. I think there's a list of them on the Authorize.net website. If you want to do it separately, what I would suggest and what I have always done is use an Authorize.net reseller. I personally use Merchant Plus, and I'm not saying that to give them a credit or anything, but it's just one of the examples that Authorize.net but I would really suggest that it goes through a reseller, because what the reseller does is it offers you the Authorize.net gateway plus the processor, so you don't have the hassle of dealing with both. And another plus to it is that if you go on Authorize.net, the website, and you purchase this, you have to pay a $99 setup fee. But if you go through most of the resellers, they waive that fee. They waive the fee so that they get your business, and that's just another plus of going through a reseller. So I would definitely suggest that. It's up to you how you want to do it, but that is a better way in my opinion. So Authorize.net, what's really cool is it offers a virtual terminal, and what that is it allows you to take physical credit cards. If you have a shop and someone brings in a credit card, you can just take their credit card, plug in all their information, and it will get sent to your bank account. So that's a really good feature, especially if you have a storefront. There's great fraud protection. There's all kinds of security that you can turn on and off if you want. Pricing, it really depends if you're going through a reseller or not, but it's typically around $20 to $30 per month, plus I believe it's 10 cent per transaction. And like I said, there's a $99 setup fee if you order from Authorize.net. So next we have Google Checkout, which is a direct competitor to PayPal. It's the same idea. You do not need an SSL certificate in most situations. There are some APIs you can use where you can accept payment on your site, but if you just do the standard Google Checkout, you don't need an SSL certificate. The customer pays off-site just like with PayPal, but it's fully seamless. And one plus about using Google Checkout is it's fast, because so many people have a Google account, and if you log into your Gmail account and let's say you never close the browser, you're always logged in, so that provides for a much quicker checkout. The customer does not need a Google account though. It's just quicker if they do have one. Again, this is easily integrated on many platforms, all the ones we talked about. There's no monthly fee, and the 30 cent per transaction, I think they have the same rates as PayPal. These rates here might be a little off. I'm not exactly sure, but it's right around there. I know sometimes these services change their rates, but it should be pretty close. Alright, PayPal Payments Pro it's an on-site processing solution. PayPal Standard is done on their servers. This is done on yours. It's a subscription service. I believe it's $30 per month, but there are added options such as recurring payments and there's a few other options. So if you want those, then you have to pay a little extra per month. You can manage the account through your regular standard PayPal account, which is good. You will need an SSL certificate. The customer does not need a PayPal account. They can pay with PayPal on your site if they want, or they can just use their credit card. This is also easily integrated on many platforms, and this also offers a virtual terminal so you can take physical credit cards as well. 2Checkout is another merchant slash processor, just like PayPal and Google Checkout. In most cases, you don't need an SSL certificate, but I believe they do have services where you can process on your site. The customer can pay. It's actually integrated well with PayPal. Customers can pay through PayPal or credit card. Customers typically don't even know that they're paying on 2Checkout servers. They think they're still on your site. And there is a $10.95 monthly fee, and the transactions are around 45 cents, I believe, 2.9%. And some other notable systems are Stripe, Amazon Payments, Dwolla, Braintree, BluePay. Intuit has a merchant service, First Data, and CyberSource. I can't really speculate on any of these because I haven't used them, but I've heard great things about all of them, so if you choose one of these, then you should be fine. So that's it. That's the rundown of the available payment systems. Later on in this series, we'll actually be integrating a system. I believe we'll be integrating PayPal, and maybe doing some examples of some other payment systems as well. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next.